Welcome back to episode 2 of Sales and Snacks NYC edition. I am here with
Phil Putnam. I am a sales skills workshop leader, coach, and author.
Awesome. Well, this is episode 2, so let's jump right in because I know our mouths are watering.
This brownie.
Question for you before we go into Rate the Brownie from By the Way Bakery, located in the Upper West Side, is what practices can boost activity volume without harming productivity?
Sure. So what I've found is that the answer is not actually about the activity or the productivity itself. Everyone's number one career goal, regardless of their job or their tenure, is to get the life they desire in exchange for the work that they do. And no matter how much they care about their employer's success, they're always going to care most about getting that life they desire. So motivation is the output of a person's belief in their ability to get that life from the job they have. So when I coach leaders on how to motivate performance, it really comes down to discovering the details of the life that somebody's trying to build, and then honestly assessing the likelihood of them getting that life from the job that they have. Because if they believe and if they can actually get that life, that's party time.
Yeah.
Right? That's like you're going to get fundamentally motivated top performance on a regular basis with a minimal amount of friction. But when people don't believe they can get the life they want from the job they have, or they truly can't get it, whether it's a belief or a fact, they're going to disengage. Their performance is going to start to dip. And if it's not caught and addressed meaningfully in time, that person's going to leave. Now, the reason why every employer should care about whether their people leave is because the cost of replacing somebody who leaves your company is around 5 to 12 times what it costs to satisfy somebody who's at your company.
Knowing what incentivizes your salespeople is super, super important. So great answer there.
Yeah.
That leads me to question 2 here, which is how do you motivate underperformers while keeping top performers engaged?
Sure. Everybody, regardless of their performance level or their tenure or their age, we all want the same thing. We work to get the life that we desire. So if you approach everybody on that basis, regardless of their current performance level, you're going to be hitting the highest likelihood of continuing to get top performance from your best people while motivating better performance from your low performers. But there's an if. If those people can get the life they desire from the job they have. And this is probably the most important thing I can say to leaders, which is that it's really not our place to decide what our people desire. That's not for us. All we can do is discover that and then honestly assess if we can give it to them. And if we can, great. If we can't, my recommendation is you actually help people leave, and the faster the better. Or you move them into a role within your company where they can get the life they desire. Because if they can't, they're gonna realize it. And once they do, they might not tell you.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be bringing down your results in ways that you don't want to have around. So everybody's going to benefit if someone moves on faster.
Just be honest, sales leaders. Wow, Phil, so much good advice here. I really want you to tell me a little bit more about yourself as an author, because
Sure.
Yeah, before you mentioned you're an author, and I want to know more about your book.
Sure. So the book is called Desire-Based Leadership, a manager's surprising key for driving top performance. And it's really about what I just described, right? It's about the fact that everybody's number one career goal is to get the life they desire from the work that they do. I look back at the way that all of my managers in my career tried to motivate my performance, and they were all super well-intentioned, and a lot of them were exceptional leaders. But they all tried to motivate my performance by saying, Phil, look at how important your work is to the company succeeding. And so that's why you should be motivated to give more of yourself and work here longer and work longer hours. The problem with that is that a person's care for their company's success will never be better than their second place motivation. So motivating them on that basis will never get you better than second place results. And I didn't want second place results. I wanted first place results. So I started finding out what my people wanted for their lives, and then discovering if I could give it to them, and then being honest with them about it.
I'm very excited to read your book, Phil.
Thanks.
You ready for it? Let's do it.
Permission. Oh my gosh. This is so good. It's really dense, but it's also not like claggy. Like it's not difficult to get through. Inside, it's really light.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The flavor is intense. It's not overly sweet. It's got a good balance of like the bitter and the sweet of chocolate.
Okay.
So for people that like that kind of flavor profile, I think it'd be really satisfying.
1 out of 10. What do you think?
Terrible timing. I mean, for my desires, I'm going to give it a 10, honestly.
Wow.
This is the brownie I would bake if I had the choice.
So I'm going to say a 9.5.
Yeah, this really comes through a lot. Yeah.
Wow. Well, thank you so much, Phil, for joining us today on episode 2.
Yeah.
Everyone, stick around, keep an eye out for episode 3 of Sales and Snacks, New York City edition, to see what we're going to eat next.